following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys! This is Cowboys StoryLine, presented by Gillette, the official shave of the Dallas Cowboys. Here's Nick Eatman.
What's up? Welcome to Cowboys StoryLine, presented by Gillette. We've turned the calendar to February. It's February the 3rd. And let's talk a little Cowboys football. We got Pro Bowl week, Super Bowl week, had Senior Bowl last week, East-West Shrine Bowl, a lot of bowling here for the Cowboys as we're getting closer to really turning the page of this 2025-26 season. It has flipped for most teams. Obviously, still one game to play. Doesn't affect the Cowboys that much. We'll see what happens when we get closer and closer to free agency. I know there's been a lot of talk about that. What's going to happen with some of these players? We've thanks for joining us for this shifted show here to Tuesday, where I'm going to be going to San Francisco tomorrow for about a day and a half. See what's going on over there. Hopefully our guys can get into the Hall of Fame. Not holding my breath, but just because we've seen it end poorly for us here, especially with Darren Woodson. But hopefully things will change this year. But we'll see. You guys, I know Irene got after it, and like she always does when we have a new time. She probably alerted all the troops. So I'm counting on her and you guys to call in. I know we already have a couple callers, so let's get right to it. Let's go to Brian in Kansas City. Brian, what's up, Brian?
I almost said good morning, sir. I'm so used to saying it that way.
Yeah, it's morning somewhere, but not here.
Absolutely, man. Hey, well, it's good to talk to you. Glad to hear that you're going to get out to. So are you going to be at the Super Bowl for the game, or are you just going and covering some things and then coming home?
Yeah, I'll be home Friday. So.
Oh, okay. I got you. So you'll do like Radio Row and some of that stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay. That's cool, man. Well, that's great.
Yeah.
Hey, so and you're absolutely right. Irene always rallies the troops.
Yes.
So we're going to give her a promotion. If in the Navy, if you're a captain, the next step is admiral. So we're just going to have to give her that promotion, I think.
You think she needs to be the admiral?
Absolutely. There's got to be somebody's got to be over the captains, and that's got to be it.
All right.
So I haven't heard you talk about this. This has been a real common theme probably for the last couple of weeks through a lot of the people that I follow online and through their YouTube channels and whatnot. I haven't heard you talk about this.
Okay.
I have my opinion, and then I'll hang up and listen to yours. So if you had the opportunity and the board fell just right, what position would you be happiest about to double dip? And let's throw the DBs all together.
Yeah.
So, just that one group, let's throw them together. So for me, I have to say, I think it's the linebackers. If I had the chance to get Reese and Styles, both from Ohio State,
right,
I think I would just be thrilled. And I'll hang up and listen to your answer, brother.
Yeah, the thing about that is if you got two linebackers, you would probably – it would almost be like corner and safety, as far as them doing different things. One of them, I don't think they would both be playing like in the middle or outside or whatever. I mean, you only have three spots and usually only playing two in today's football. So you wouldn't think you'd have them doing the exact same thing. For me, where I see the biggest importance is, and I said this on the show maybe 2 weeks ago, I don't see them double dipping in any position, but if you told me that they got two really good pass rushers, one of them is probably going to be good. Maybe both of them are. Maybe over time they both help each other out, and they're both really good. Because I could see you needing both. If I got two pass rushers at 12 and 20, I would hope that they would make the corners and linebackers better. I don't think that will happen, but that's an interesting question. And if that is the case, I see that probably being better than just taking 2 corners or a corner safety. But, again, we'll see what happens in free agency. I don't know if free agency is going to change their strategy in anything, but it could. It could if you get a good one. See, that's the thing. It never has changed strategy for the Cowboys because they're never really making splash plays, splash moves. But if you did, if you did go out, and it did last year if you think about it. I mean, I think them acquiring Pickens, that wasn't a free agent thing, but it was in that time. It was before the draft that it changed their thoughts a little bit. I take that back because that's not true. Pickens thing happened right after the draft. That's right, because they were thinking about getting McMillan. So the draft actually affected that trade. I think they were looking to see what they were going to get, and then they made that move. But sometimes I think if you made a splash move in free agency, which is rare here, but if it happened, then it could change your board and what your focus is in the first round. All right, let's go Chris in Saratoga Springs. Chris, what's up?
Not much. I agree with you with the last year with Pickens because I think they were targeting McMillan, and once he was gone, and then the draft fell, that's when they went after Pickens. And I actually liked the way it fell, to be honest, getting Pickens and getting who we did in the draft. Definitely we're going after the wide receiver there in the first round, and he was gone. I just want to say hello to you all, and let's go Woodson for the Hall of Fame. I'm going to say it every time I call, and I'm going to wish it to existence, how I do.
Yeah.
Loving the moves Dallas is making with the defensive coaches. I love the young aspect of, the DC now. And then it just picked up Ainsley, who's a vet, 2-time defensive coordinator. So you sprinkle in some experience with, the lack of experience with our new D coordinator. But I absolutely love what they've been doing. Have you heard anything about Zach Orr any more than what is on the internet? I mean, I know they're interviewing another linebackers coach, but have you heard anything on that? And do you think maybe it's because there's a couple of these coordinator positions still open and he's maybe holding out for a coordinator position?
Yeah. There was a time because Orr was interviewing. He'd interviewed like 2 times and maybe even a third time if you want to count them all as far as virtual and in-person ones. So, he did interview for the defensive coordinator, and then it looked like it was going to shift more into linebackers coach. I think he's still on the radar. I mean, obviously, it's probably the ball's probably more in his court at this time about the things that he wants, because I know that he's somebody that they would love to have in the building under the right capacity. But I have to, and I'm just speculating, but as you were, I think it's probably more about him looking for all opportunities before he goes position coach route. But but the Cowboys have to keep looking as well. You can't wait on all that too. So they're looking at all their options too.
Right. As far as the draft coming up, just real quick, I would be happy with any Ohio State player in the first round. There's a bunch of good ones, and me with the Ohio State Buckeyes, and I think any one of those would be outstanding for us to get at our selection. Other than that, glad to talk to you guys. Chris, in the background, does an amazing job every darn show, everything he does.
Yeah.
Thanks for everything both of you guys do.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you for saying that, and thank you for being a guy that calls a lot. You have this year, and one of the top 5 I think callers that we've had. All right, Chris, let's move to Steve in New York. Steve.
Hey, what's up, Nick?
Hey, Steve.
Shout out to Irene for texting me this morning about the time change for the show. I work nights, so it's a little difficult sometimes for me to call in, but it was perfect for me. Appreciate that.
And thank her.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. I'm going to go right to the Cowboys because the Pro Bowl just hasn't done it for me in a long time. I'm a little bit older than you, I think, but do you remember when a couple of times where Aikman didn't even wear 8 and Emmett didn't wear 20? How bizarre was that when you look back?
Well, I think our social team posted some videos, some behind-the-scenes videos of them on the sideline in practice, and it was crazy. I mean, they were ready. I think Emmett was 24 and Aikman was 9, and it was pretty cool. Yeah,
that was strange. So I read the piece you had on DallasCowboys.com about the defensive tackle position. You mentioned Williams, Osa, and Clark, and you said it wasn't a given that all three will be back. And I'm just curious if you think the Pickens situation is going to impact this, or do you just think that you can't afford to pay three players at that position, that kind of money?
Yeah, I think that they will be here. Okay, I just said I don't think it's a guarantee. I think what's probably, and I don't know if I wrote it this way, but it's probably better said of not in their current contract status as is. I'm sure that they're going to have to shuffle some things around there, and I think all three of them probably could and would be willing to do that. So, but if you get the right asking price for something, I could see maybe a trade there. It would probably have to be Kenny Clark, but I say more than anything, I think probably just restructuring some of those guys. I'm not saying you couldn't do it, but it's just not ideal to have. And I looked it up. There's only 16 defensive tackles in the NFL that are making $20 million.
That was
$20 million or more.
crazy.
I'll just say the point: $20 million or more for a defensive tackle. There's 16 of them in the NFL. Cowboys have 3 of them. So, I mean that's not ideal, and it means you're going to have to go short somewhere else, and that's where they're going to have to draft around that and hope to get some really cheap players in the draft that are good. That's what happens
the whole
when you draft
thing
them.
all comes back to the drafting.
Yeah. All right.
Real quick, the trivia Tuesday
trivia.
quick one.
Yeah.
The catch game, Dez caught it. This guy caught his only career touchdown in that game for the Cowboys. Only played 5 years in the league, and he caught a touchdown in that game, and it was his only touchdown in the NFL. Maybe I have a story on this guy. I don't know.
I think I know this one. Is it Tyler Klutz?
Tyler Klutz.
Klutz, the fullback. Tyler
correct.
Klutz, it worked with Woodson. He might still actually, and if he does, he did do some stuff in Darren Woodson's business, and he's done some shows when we've got Darren Woodson on. He brings Tyler Klutz, and he's there, and he's great, on camera and all that. And I don't know if he said that. I remember it's like a 1-yard touchdown, right? Wasn't it?
It was. Let me tell you something. It was a great catch too. I mean, of course,
was
nobody remembers anything from that game except one play, but it was a great catch.
You'll be surprised. People remember a lot. They remember other plays,
the
like
DeMarco fumble,
DeMarco, James Hanna is involved somehow. I don't remember why. I think there was a fumble that the Packers had on a kickoff that he had. Like the Cowboys scored, they had the lead, they kicked off, the Packers fumbled it, and Hanna jumped on it like at the 20, and it just kind of scored it out of his arms, and then the Packers kept it. You imagine getting the ball there and going and scoring it. That could have changed everything.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, that game was just bad in a lot of ways. But Tyler
Thanks
Klutz,
for the time, Nick.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Steve. All right, let's keep it going. JR in Avondale, Arizona. What's up, JR?
Hey, Nick, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Oh, finally made it back through the storm. I got back to Arizona, but back here now.
All right.
Hey, first of all, thoughts and prayers to Scott Laidlaw's family. I saw that Scott Laidlaw passed away.
Right.
And I wore number 35 in high school and college. I don't know if it was because of him, but I remember him playing and him laying out Jack Lambert in the Super Bowl. That's one of my memories of him. So shout out to his family. But about coaching staff, Zach Orr, if they can get Zach Orr, I think it's a game changer because I think they got talent on the defense that they just need to do a better job of developing linebacker-wise with Leofau and Shamar James. And hopefully Demo can stay healthy. I think that they just need better coaching to make those players better and maybe a better scheme. So I think getting him in there, and then free agency, we know they never go for the big splash, but I really think they need to. Can't rebuild the team with the draft picks that they have. So I'd like to see them rework some contracts and get some money, and I think they got a couple of year window to do something. So that's all I got today. I just wanted to check in and say, have a great day. Go Cowboys.
All right. Thanks, JR. they didn't make a huge splash free agency wise, but off season they did. And, I think that it's one of those situations where, the Pickens trade was huge, clearly, as he's in the Pro Bowl now and they're talking about putting the franchise tag on him. So obviously that worked out, and they made several trades and they didn't all work out. We know that. Kenneth Murray, that clearly didn't work out. And Kaiir Elam didn't even make it through the whole season. Milton, I guess it did. A 7th round pick for Milton. Maybe it was a 6th round pick, but a late pick for him, and he was the backup quarterback. But overshadowed a lot by the really good trade with Pickens, Javonte Williams. That was a kind of a cheap deal, but turned out to be a really good pickup for them, and a guy that they've even said is one of their biggest priorities in the offseason. So, yes, technically free agency wise, the Cowboys haven't been big players, but they did a lot of things last year. They were creative for them, and if they can do something like that, now I don't know how much ammo they've got to keep trading and making additions like that, but one way or another, they were aggressive in how they did it last year, and we'll see if they can do the same. All right, let's go Michael in Bowling Green, Kentucky.
What's going on, Nick?
How are you doing?
I'm all right.
Hey.
How is it kind of depressing or sad for you when the season's over and you don't get to go to any more football games for like 7 months?
No, it's not depressing or sad. It's not that. I kind of understand what it is, and I don't want the season to ever end. You don't ever want that to happen. When it's over, you see some positives there, and you can kind of hit the restart button, and you can do some things that you've been putting off and all that stuff. So yeah, it's nice from that standpoint, but it only lasts for so long. And then trust me, when it's time to go, back to the draft stuff is interesting, or even free agency, and then the draft, and then how it goes like that is fine. Maybe I'm just so used to the process, but I don't get depressed or anything by it. Maybe on years where a couple years ago where you're like, this team is better than where they are, and that was probably depressing to see Green Bay play the next week after they came in here and beat the Cowboys like that. It's the number 2 seed. That was a sort of depressing. But in this case, this wasn't a playoff team. They really weren't good enough at all, and it is what it is. I don't know if that answers your question, but.
Well, I heard Pollard that Tennessee could let him go to June 1st and save quite a bit of money. If they did, do you think Dallas would be interested?
No. No, I'm not saying not at all. You've got a running back that's a little bit older now, and if I'm assuming, now this is all assuming they're going to re-sign Javonte Williams. If they don't, they're going to have to get some back in here like that, and maybe that's the one. But I think the physicality of what Javonte brought to the table is what they were looking for. That's what they paid him for. The blocking, Dak loves that. I just think that type of runner is what they're looking for. Now, and, then you add, you hope Jaden Blue can help with that, or Moffers, or maybe Malik Davis, somebody. But I think for their bell cow back, I would think it would be somebody a little bit more physical. And if they do sign Javonte, I just don't see that would be a good fit for Tony Pollard to be the number 2 at this point in his career. Because basically what I'm saying is you got 2 running backs that aren't going to play special teams. So you really can't do that much. You need to that's how you structure your team a little bit. I just don't see that being a good fit, but who knows? All right.
Well, I'll call back next week. Let some other people on. Thank you.
Thanks, Michael. Appreciate that. Let's go to break here on Cowboys Storyline. I got one caller holding. We'll take a break. We'll be right back after this.
All right, Cowboys fans, this one's for you. Gillette's Best Shave has a new look this season, and they've got one that's sticked out in Cowboys colors just for us. We're going to want to run, not walk to this one, y'all. The new Gillette Labs official Dallas Cowboys licensed razor isn't just Gillette's best shave. With 50% longer lasting blades than Fusion, it's the best a Cowboys fan can get. Get it while you can at Gillette.com/NFL. Gillette's Best Shave is also available as heated.
Discover Aiden, the official luggage partner of the Dallas Cowboys and Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Known for top-tier engineering and craftsmanship, Aiden offers more than just bags. Originating from Australia and designed in New York, it merges fashion, design, and culture. Used by Dallas Cowboys players, staff, and the entire organization, Aiden provides style and functionality for all travelers. Visit AidenTheBrand.com and use code AidenXCowboys for 25% off your purchase. Travel like your favorite stars with Aiden.
Alltech Lansing has been perfecting sound since 1927, bringing you decades of audio excellence to elevate your Dallas Cowboys tailgate ritual. Equip your next pregame with the Sound Rover 180 with 6 hours of playtime, built-in microphone, multicolor light modes, and a rugged exterior that's built to last. Visit alltechlansing.com/Cowboys15 for 15% off your Sound Rover 180. That's ALTECLANSING.com/Cowboys15 for 15% off. Alltech Lansing, official audio partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Back to Cowboys Storyline, presented by Gillette, the official shave of the Dallas Cowboys.
Auditions for the 2026 Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders open March 13th. Don't miss your chance to audition for America's Sweethearts. Learn more at DallasCowboysCheerleaders.com/auditions. All right. I think back of the callers that we've just had, and I think about which ones would be good for the DCC auditions. All of them would be really good. I don't know. How about Josh in Chicago? Josh.
Hey, Nick.
What's up?
Not too much. I was hoping you would be breaking news today. I don't know. I tweeted at you. I was hoping you'd have some Darren Woodson news, with all these leaks coming out.
Yeah. I don't have
I know.
anything there.
I was hoping we would turn on the show today and he'd be sitting next to you and it was going to be like, here's the thing, and we were all going to be excited.
I would imagine he's there.
Yeah.
I plan on seeing him tomorrow. I would imagine he's already up out there. But
yeah.
no leaks on this end. I'm
No
actually surprised that's happening. That's something they're gonna have to fix. That's the last thing that they want is for everything to already be out there. Before it even comes out. But
yeah, I was surprised by it, and then obviously I went on the deep Google dive of is there anything else, right? Is there anything on our guys? But
yeah,
Well,
I mean, one thing that if they really don't like how this is working, maybe you don't tell them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's changed a little bit because it used to be they would go up there and then they'd get on there, stay in a hotel room, and they get the knock on the door and all that.
Yep.
And I think now that they're getting told way beforehand, and the ones that don't get in, it's how they probably handle that news. You know what I mean? So
yep.
That's how I would imagine is somebody probably said good luck to Bill Belichick, and he's like, I didn't get in. And then and then from there you decide if that's news you want to break. So a little surprised that I'm seeing that, but I kind of put that on the committee and how they're doing this and how they're displaying the news.
Yeah, definitely. Other than that, I wanted to talk Christian Parker. I couldn't get in last week. I just want to say I'm happy with the hire. I think the other thing that a lot of people haven't really pointed out yet is his familiarity within the division, which I know is kind of obvious, but it's not just that he knows the Eagles offense and the Giants offense and the Commanders offense. He knows the Eagles defense too. And obviously that might have some changes coming, but either way, I think it's really important that we have a guy that knows their staff and knows how they do things too.
Yep. I mean, that's the goal, beating them. You know what I mean? It's only 2 games, but you
standard.
You're right. So you gotta definitely do that, and it's I've always been a fan of too. If you strengthen your team by weakening maybe another, that's even better.
The strength. Yep.
So.
Absolutely. And I think the last thing I just had to say about the draft and kind of the free agency market is, hey, this increase in the cap space gives Dallas a lot of operating room, and they can really do some good stuff. And there's some linebackers out there. I think it was Brian in Kansas City. It might have been somebody else talking about linebackers, but there's some linebackers that are going to be available that, this DC might want. So that's all I got, man.
I'm all for it. All right, Josh, appreciate it. I've never gotten too excited about when I hear the cap goes up, just because there's teams out there that have a lot of money. Now they got even more money, and all that does is really kind of drives the market up. So, I mean, it helps that you can be functional. There's no doubt about it. Be functional. But the cap's going up for everybody, and teams that have a lot of money sitting there, we've seen it. Jacksonville's done it. The Raiders have done it for years, where they kind of, I think Washington's even kind of been guilty of it a little bit of getting some of these contracts out there because you have the money, and you're kind of inflating the market a little bit. But you're right. I mean, Cowboys will have some. They shouldn't have the excuse of that. They don't have money to go do things. So we'll see if they do it, though. That's one thing. They've had money in the past. Let's see if they go and they spend it. All right, Irene, Falls Church, Virginia. Irene.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Do you like the nickname the Admiral?
The Admiral? I didn't hear it. I had a repair person here, so I couldn't call in. Well, that's cool.
I think Brian from Kansas City. And who else was it was it Josh or JR? Somebody had said that you had texted them and said, hey, make sure to get on the show today, which I appreciate. I even sent you a message. Do your little magic, whatever you did.
You did.
And you did. But Brian said, if you're the captain in the Navy, you move up, you're admiral. So he thinks that should be your next title. I haven't really gone that far into captains. That. I mean, I'm toying with the idea of adding a captain, maybe even removing a captain, replacing. I don't know, but I don't know about moving up rank here in the show. Either way,
I'll take it as a compliment, though.
Well, I appreciate
even if you don't do it.
Yeah, well, I appreciate it. What you do and how you definitely. Help this show, especially on these different show times that we have. So thank you.
You're very welcome.
What's on your mind?
I have two questions for you. One, and both are kind of like Nick Eatman opinion questions just about football enjoyment in general. So the first one, international games. I saw, Mexico City, of course, was thrown out there by Jerry, but I saw Nick Harris mention keep an eye out for Melbourne, right? Mm-hmm. Melbourne, I think, is actually how you say that. So my first question for you is, I know you've been to London, but where, if you get to pick out of all these new cities that are coming, where would you like to go? And then the next question is Super Bowl. Unfortunately, as we all know, we haven't been in there for a long time. So you get to watch the game where? Set the table for us. What's a typical Nick Eatman viewing of the Super Bowl? And I'll hang up and listen. Thanks.
It's funny that you ask that. The last few years haven't really been much of anything, just kind of hanging out, trying to fight and for the remote and trying to explain to a child that it's the Super Bowl. It's not Bluey or Peppa Pig time or whatever. It's not Super Bluey. It's a Super Bowl. And so, so on this particular day, like we're watching football, but I think that shouldn't be a problem. We'll see. We'll see if I can get to, maybe have a little get together. It just depends. I'm kind of waiting on some people to get back to me, for the last 10 days or so that they won't, but dragging their feet a little bit. So I'm just trying to get that done. But if I had to answer the other question of which spot would I want to go to an international game, I mean, Australia sounds nice. The flight there doesn't, for someone that doesn't sleep on airplanes, but still, that would be kind of cool. And maybe it's also because that would feel and look so different, but they still speak English, so it wouldn't be that bad. I mean, Germany would also be kind of cool too. I think if that's ever one, that wouldn't be bad. But Australia, yeah, and that's I think the Rams are playing there. The Rams home game. Cowboys do play at the Rams, so maybe that's going to happen. And it makes sense if you are the Rams. I mean, how embarrassing is it to go to have a game at home when, you know, you've got 50%, if not more, Cowboy fans there. So, you know, I've always thought that too for the Cowboys. If the Cowboys have to give up a game if they have to give up a home game, I'd give up Pittsburgh when they come to town, or give up the 49ers who actually do come to town. Give up those games. Those are the ones that you're having a hard time, you know, with the opposing fans anyways. Might as well put that on the road. But, you know, Mexico City's on the table. Australia's on the table. Could they both be on the table? Maybe.
Hey, by the way.
Oh, yeah. What's up, Chris?
Hey, what's up, Nick? How's it going, buddy?
Going good.
The flight time I just looked up to Australia. Would you like to take a wild guess?
Like 12 hours? 11?
18 hours and 30 minutes. That's from flight math. So, yes, 18 hours and 30 minutes. That's how long the flight is to Australia.
We leave on Tuesday. We get there Thursday.
Yes.
Wow.
But the funny thing is when you come back, you like leave on Saturday at 10, and you get home at Saturday at 11.
Yeah. Yeah. How far is it on the way back? Probably less, huh? I don't know. Anyways, well, that would be my pick. I think that would be cool. But yeah,
You have to learn how to sleep on a plane, buddy.
yeah, I would have to. I mean, there's no doubt about it. 18-hour flight, and that's one too where, you know, have they played a game in Australia?
No, that would be the first one.
Okay, because
never happened before.
If it's an 18-hour flight, I would think this is one where you'd have to. Maybe it is week 1 of the season or something like that, right?
Or the Friday. That's probably what they would do. Is like the Friday after. Does that make sense?
Yeah, where you're there for a while and you can get all the.
You do the Friday. Yeah. So the Thursday night opener they did a couple years ago, where Thursday night was the opener, and then they played in Brazil on Friday. Right. So
that wouldn't be bad either. So all right, good stuff. Good questions by Irene, the Admiral. All right, let's go, Chris in San Angelo. Chris,
Mr. Nick, how are you today, sir?
What's up, Mr. Chris?
Hey, I'm great, man. I was confused because I could hear you and Chris talking, and you kept asking Chris a question, and I was like, "Well, I'm right here, but I can't comment."
Yeah, you thought you were going on. Yeah, no, I hear you.
Yeah, no, that's cool. Hey, I've always said that I think you have a great job, but I'm not a traveler. I don't travel well, so I don't think I can handle it. So there you go.
So you wouldn't be going to Australia if the Cowboys played there?
More than likely not. I would try to figure something out there.
Yeah.
But anyway, hey, what I was going to talk about today, sorry about that, with the new coaches that they're hiring, would you see it as kind of an advantage with the new defensive hires with free agency? I mean, as in, you know, they got a guy from Minnesota. I don't know how much of this is official. Minnesota and Arizona. So maybe they would be able to give input on some free agents that would fit and maybe not, you know, break the bank, because not just their teams, but teams that they have played. And hopefully it'd work out better than last year, right? Because everything on defense was a mess. But I was just going to kind of see what you thought about the hires and how that might help with free agency.
It helps, and I don't want to play devil's advocate here, but, you know, I mean, I'm sure Eberflus helped get Jack Sanborn here.
Yeah, that was my point. Hopefully it would work out better than last year.
And there you go. I mean, so yeah, you know, there's that, but and I think that it happens some. I don't think it happens as much as people think it does, as far as players going with other coaches and things like that. They're going to usually get their best, offer on the table and all that. But if it's a tiebreaker, if it's I could go here or I could go here where I know the system and I know what the coach is asking from me and I feel comfortable there, you know, then that does happen. I mean, I joke about that with Eberflus, Sanborn, you know, that connection was not the problem for last year. I mean, there was a lot more than that. But, if we're going to get cute and say that, then let's not forget that Zimmer got Eric Kendricks here, and Eric Kendricks played pretty well, I thought. I he had a good season. And he got here because of the coach. And so it happens. And I think, you're talking about Marcus Dixon, defensive line coach now that's been added. Former player from here and Arena League player as well, so it's good to have him back. And he'll have some good input, and not just on guys that he's coached, but how about an offensive lineman for the Bears or the Packers or somebody like that, guy that you coach against, and you'll have some say on that. So it's not just the players you have, but it's also the players you've scouted and the players that you face, especially the ones that you face twice a year. So.
Yes, sir. That was it. That's bingo. That's like not just their guys. It's just guys that they've seen.
Guys they've seen, and also some guys, if they've been doing it more than 4 or 5 years, guys that they scouted in the draft. It's like, oh, I was in Cleveland 4 years ago. We loved this guy. We almost took him, but somebody took it. And something like that. Like these guys don't forget. Going to Mobile and going to the combine and interviewing these guys and all that. It didn't work out right then. But so they know the league better than we think. And there's connections that are more than just, the Arizona, defensive backs coach, Ryan Smith, or you have to have a corner from Arizona. He might go really have some input on a wide receiver that they couldn't cover for 3 or 4 years in a row. And you know what I'm saying? So it goes a little deeper than just guys that they coached with last year.
Oh, yeah, right on. Better coaches, better players.
Right. All right, Chris.
That's all I got, my friend. You be good.
You too. Have a good one. All right, let's go to break another time here on Cowboys Storyline. We'll be right back after this.
Cowboys fans, when it comes to navigating the ever-changing world of tax, your business needs a partner it can trust to tackle even your biggest tax challenges. Ryan is the largest firm in the world dedicated exclusively to business taxes. Our team of tax professionals has local expertise in all areas of tax and can help you uncover savings opportunities you didn't know you had. Learn more about how Ryan can improve your overall corporate tax performance by visiting Ryan.com. Ryan, the official tax partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
We got big personalities. We got big hair, big belt buckles. We got fans all across this big state and enemies in every other one. We even got a big star on the 50-yard line. Smirnoff knows football is a we thing, an experience that is best enjoyed together. With good drinks and good folks home or away, we rally together. We cry together. And we always rally cry together because, most of all, we got big love for them boys. Smirnoff, we do game days. Please drink responsibly.
Back to Cowboys Storyline, presented by Gillette, the official shave of the Dallas Cowboys.
All right, welcome back to Cowboys Storyline, presented by Gillette. Gillette's best shave is available at gillette.com/NFL. All right, Lewis in Langston, Oklahoma. He's been waiting. Lewis, what's up, man?
Not much, man. Just I've been trying to get in. It's been hell trying to figure out these dates and times and stuff like that, trying to keep up.
You're 100% right, and I blame Chris for this. But we're going to work through it and all that. No, I take that back because weather and I'll travel and all that kind of stuff. It's been crazy, but I appreciate you guys. And like I said, if I haven't said it 5 times, I'll say it again. I mean, Irene and others. There's probably others that do that too. That text and say, hey, we got a show today, so appreciate that.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Shout out to all of them, the Storyline crew and everything. I get on the spaces. I don't really do a lot of talking. I mainly do a lot of listening. But I try to get in.
I've been on the last couple of times, and it's a lot of listening. It's turned into a lot of listening. You know who you are. Wow, it's become Dylan in Northport, Florida's got I don't know. I wouldn't call it a problem, but it's not easy handling that, and all the people on those shows.
I think his side job should be a principal because the way he handles it, kudos to him.
Man,
because he does it well.
Yeah, it's crazy. I got on there and I couldn't get a word in. I was like, all right, guys, I got the side eye here from my wife. I got kids, need to go to bed. So out, you guys talk it through. But yeah, no.
Yeah.
All right.
No, I was calling. I haven't got into a deep dive of all the coaches that's gotten hired. I do like that we're kind of shifting into the newer, younger. I don't know how to say it. This younger generation of coaches. They're in the 30s, 40s.
Yep.
And nothing against the older coaches, but like some of them, you kind of watch them, like Jim and all of them. They kind of get stuck in their own ways, and it's more about the scheme than the player. And I kind of look at with the newer generation that's coming in. What I have seen is they have been flexible and being able to change mid-game and after the game. And sometimes I feel like we watch the game and we get too stuck on this guy belongs in this square hole, in this circle, and everything is, and this is how it's supposed to work. And sometimes I want them to, you're yelling at the TV like, hey, flex over here or go over there. And, but I mean, we don't see it all the time. And I'm hoping that with the newer generation of coaches that they're bringing in, it helps the defense not only learn and get better at it, but on the same time, like some of these people are just getting out of the league, so they probably can see exactly what them players are talking about.
Yeah.
And so, I'm leaving it at that because I can ramble about it all day, but that's what I called to get my little 2 cents in because I've enjoyed seeing this coaching search and the people they brought in. And like I said, I haven't done a deep job on all of them, but the ones like Parker, I love watching some of his tape and the way he talks and deals with the players. And hopefully that can matriculate to the field as far as all of the defense, not just the cornerbacks and the safeties and stuff like that. So we'll see how it goes, and I'll leave it at that, and I'll call in when I get in.
All right, Lewis. Thanks for the call, and I'm with you. I'm not going to begin to try to tell you what this coach is going to do better than the other coaches and all that. It kind of goes back to last year when Schottenheimer was hired. And the first press conference, the first 2 or 3, 4 press conferences, first couple months, combine, he talked. You just liked what you heard. And we said it. We said it then. Like he's winning the offseason because the offseason doesn't have any games. And he's doing as good as you can do right now. He's saying the right things. It sounds good. It feels good. And we'll see what happens when the games, come out. And, they obviously missed the playoffs, had 7 wins, was below 500, wasn't the expectation. It still feels pretty good. It feels like, there's some things to be excited about. So I shift now into this offseason and what we know. We see the coaches and all that. Again, if they can't coach, we'll find out, but so all you can go off is just kind of what it feels like. And it does feel different with the type of coaches that they're bringing in, their age. You also see how thorough the interview process has been. It's been really quick, and that they bringing guys in, second interview, third interview. I mean, they are looking at a lot of options here. So you kind of like that. And we've seen it too many times of like, it's probably that move was made in November, probably like, if this guy's available, we're going to get him. And then they get him. And did they look at other guys? No, not really. I don't think you can say that about this coaching hires of this cycle here. There's been a lot of second interviews, third interviews, a lot of guys that you're like, oh, I forgot about him, and now they hire him. So a lot to this process. And again, I'm not going to sit here and tell you how great they are because I don't really know. I just know that the whole process of hiring these guys and bringing them in has been different. And for that, I applaud them for doing that. All right, let's go to our next caller. We have Caleb in Corpus Christi, Texas. Caleb, what is up?
What is up, my man?
How you doing?
Good. Yourself?
I'm good. First time caller.
Yes, sir.
Go. All right.
All righty.
What do you got?
I'd say that we need to sign George Pickens, and for us not to wait on George Pickens, that we got to just sign him already, because we had almost the number 1 offense in the league. We were putting up the best offense stat.
It's okay.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
You're good.
but our defense too. We really need to get our defense working because our defense looked absolutely ridiculous. I liked our D-line. I did like our D-line, but our DBs were getting cooked a lot, and I really want our defense to get better. And I like the new signing with the defensive coordinator, Christian Parker. And, I just hope we sign George Pickens and we get this defense situated and get some good draft picks for people.
So you don't really care if they break the bank and make him the highest paid receiver and all that. You overpay. You just want him signed. That's where it gets tricky. Cowboys want to get the guy signed too, but there's a lot to that. So, but I'm not saying that they haven't kind of drug their feet in the past. I'm not saying that. I think that there's a quicker process to this than what we've seen, but I think we all know why negotiations take a little bit because, there's two different agendas and they got to come together and make it one agenda. It's not easy, but you know that. I mean, I'm with you. I want them to kind of get it done. And that's what I like about that's what I like about the franchise tag is it's just a placeholder. You're not going anywhere. It's a placeholder. You're still with us. Now, if somebody wants to sign him, they can, but it's probably going to cost them two number ones. So then the Cowboys will make that decision if that's what they want to do. But but when you put a franchise tag on them, that's kind of the price. It's hard to think that you're going to get a deal done after that for an average salary less than $28 million, which is what the franchise tag is. So when you put it out there, the agent kind of says, "All right, that's what you're saying our guy is. Let's not go less than that." But all right, Caleb, you got anything else?
I think that's it.
All right.
Just shout out Lindsey Garza, Joshua Garza, Ryan Garza, and Atiana Garza.
Yes, the whole Garza family.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, shout out to them. Thank you, Caleb, for calling. Well, if you're going to shout out to your family, I'll just shout out to my family. Hi, Dad.
Well, hello, Nick. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you? Dr.
Great.
Sunshine.
Dr. Sunshine in Fort Worth. But, we had a conversation a few weeks ago. Of course, I got an advantage over the other StoryLine backers because I get to talk to you several times. And when we had a discussion, remember, about the 3-4 possibility and feasibility of that.
Yeah.
And I was just wondering if you think that Christian Parker has any history of that.
Well, he's a DB coach, so I don't know if he has history of anything. I mean, he's kind of a teacher of the defensive backs. He might be like, hey, I would love to switch to a 3-4 if the personnel fits. And so he hasn't really had the opportunity to go to a team to do that. Now, he's studied under Vic Fangio and all that, and so that makes me think probably not. But, Bill Belichick was great because his teams would play a 3-4 and then a 4-3 on the same series. It would be flexible. That's what made him good. I think he's a Hall of Famer, but apparently others don't right now. But
he'll get there.
He'll get there. Yeah, I would think. If you have first ballot to anyone, I would think he would be in that. But then again, who knows? But yeah, we talked about the 3-4 and what you like the overshown Ezeraku part of it, right? Off the edge.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I think if that's a spot for Overshown, I think it is there. And, an outside linebacker in a 3-4. I just wonder about the inside. And this is what I don't know. Those defensive ends, which are really defensive tackles, but they're defensive ends in a 3-4. I wonder if the Quinnen Williams and the Kenny Clarks and Osa, I wonder, one of them will be the nose, probably Clark. The other guys would be the defensive ends. I wonder if you're getting the max potential out of them. I mean, is that a $20 million a year position to play an interior defensive end like that? Usually those guys are just taking double teams and not getting knocked off the ball. If they're Aaron Donald, then you can be great. But for the most part, it's not a glorious position that you would be paying over $20 million. That's what would be my concern. And the fact that who's your inside linebackers?
Well, I'm looking forward to some changes. So let's just say
No doubt about it. I'm not arguing with my dad on the radio. I'm just saying I think those are the questions. But I'm with you on this. Figure out how to get Overshown rushing the quarterback. Because getting him in the back, one way or another, we saw it in the Thanksgiving Giants game. He deflected that ball. He made an interception for a touchdown. He's got so much length and width to him. He needs to be doing more than just reacting. He needs to be the aggressor. And I'm with you. Figure out ways to rush him, whether it's 3-4 or 4-3.
And you mentioned also about Overshown that he is not. Well, it's probably not 100%, or who is 100% coming back from that surgery.
Right. Yeah. I think he's one of those where, you're back, you're healthy, good to go, but mentally and all that stuff, you still need a little bit more time to kind of be yourself and just, fly around to the ball like you would in the past. So I think he was healthy. I don't want the training staff mad at me and by saying he wasn't healthy. I think he was healthy, but I think that they all will admit that your second year back, you're different. And in Javonte Williams' case, his third year back, he was way different this year. So,
well, I just think he has a great upside.
Yeah, I love listening to the press conferences with him. He's so smart, and I think he's a leader. I just want him to stay healthy. And if he can do that and stay healthy and fly around, I think he can be a catalyst for the defense.
Well, I think so too. Well, I'll let you go and be careful going from Frisco to Frisco.
All right, I will. Yeah, and everywhere. Thank you so much. Okay. Thanks, Dad. Good to hear from you. Bye. Okay. Pretty cool to get to talk to your dad on there. I was gonna have to call him anyways. I just should have asked him how he's doing and if he's got groceries and all this stuff. Ronnie in New Jersey.
Hey, what's up, Nick? How you been?
What's up with you?
Not much. I'm loving the movement. Yeah, fresh blood, man. Fresh ideas. Young coaches. The first time since they hired Jimmy Johnson.
Yeah.
That we had something like this. So yeah, out with the old, in with the new, man. If you're gonna switch something up, make sure you switch everything up.
Right.
Now they're gonna have to switch up some of the players also. So I just hope they keep when it comes to free agency, they keep the momentum.
Right.
Like keep it going, man. Don't stop there. Don't think just because you're getting new coaches and whatever. Get new players also. We need players.
Yeah. No.
Like I forget which one of the defensive tackles. He said we need dogs.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's right. They need dogs. And that was the guy we traded for from Green Bay. He actually mentioned that in one of his interviews one day. He's like, yeah, man, we need dogs. Yeah, we do.
And not just any dog, okay? A lot of people have a dog in their house. I'm talking about the kind of dog with that orange sign that says beware of dog, like that kind. You need those type of ones, not the ones that's going to be at the Westminster Dog Show and all that.
I don't want no poodles.
You don't want those guys. You want one?
We don't need no poodles.
You want one that that chases a car. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah,
what are you doing?
Those Alonso Spellman type of crazy dogs, That's what we need.
Okay.
But yeah, Nick, I hope it keeps on going. They keep it going, and thanks for taking my call, Nick. Talk to you next time.
All right, appreciate the call. Need some dogs in here. The Alonso Spellman type of dog. I know that was a dog right there. I mean, that guy. Whew. He might be one of the scariest human beings I've ever seen. But anyways, all right. Well, I don't see any other. Ooh, I got another call. Got another caller? I was about to wrap it up.
Nope.
That's it. All right. 12 calls. That was good. Good times. Fit it into an hour here. We'll do it next Wednesday. I'm pretty sure we'll go back to our Wednesday 9:30 schedule. I don't see anything on the books for that, so we'll go next Wednesday. I appreciate you guys, though. 12 calls on a day like this with short notice that we switched it up. really good stuff. Got to hear from some captains and maybe an admiral. Maybe we're moving up the rank a little bit. We'll see about all those titles and changes and all that. Good stuff, guys. We'll do it again next week. So for Chris Beam, I'm Nick Eatman. See you next time on Cowboys Storyline.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!